Hello guys, today I'm going to talk about two of my favorite games of all time, Super Mario 64 and The Legend of Zelda, Ocarina of Time. I love these games because they bring me back to the days of my childhood I miss ever so much. I remember sitting on the carpet with my pajamas in front of the TV playing these games, and every time I put in the car and hit the power switch, joy immediately escaped from the console and filled me with such childlike wonder. These two games helped me cope with the struggles I faced as a child. Jeez. Get out of here, you TheGuyCreates faker. Get out of here. Shoot. Get out, man. Go on, you faker. Hold on 1 second. Get on this chair. Oh. That story sounded like it was about to get really heartfelt and emotional. And yeah, I totally get how like these two games right here could be considered to be touching to many people, you know? But this is Kirby's Epic Yarn. This is one of my favorite games of all time and one of my first Kirby games. And while other Kirby games were just as good, or less good, this right here is beautiful piece of art right here. You see this? How is this not cute? It's beautiful. It's made of yarn tubes, and there's Pedo in the corner. It's great. It's kind of wild to imagine that the Nintendo's been around for so long that games like for the DS and the Wii are considered nostalgic systems in a way. Oh, sorry, man. I didn't mean to hurt your nostalgia there. I didn't mean to make you feel old. Oh, I did it again. Crap. Now, I've always used to be ashamed to announce that the first console I owned was a Wii, or the first thing I did on a game console was make ugly Miis that had gibberish names like Jarushifnusk or Loud2738. But if you think about it, in about 10 to 20 years, the Wii and GameCube will be considered nostalgic systems. Maybe by the time the Wii Classic Edition comes out, that console will be considered a retro console. It's kind of fun to think about. Aw, dang it. This month we're going to take it easy and talk about Kirby's Epic Yarn, a game that doesn't seem to get as much recognition as it deserves, at least from what I've seen. So let's get back to that blue background with some overzealous editing and talk about one of the games that only 2,000 kids will remember. A long time ago, when I was but a child, circa 2010. From what I recall, I was at a friend's house at some point back then. This friend had a game to show me, and that game was called Kirby's Epic Yarn. Somehow he'd gotten me and him to play some of it together. He would load up save files, or mostly beaten to a certain extent, and he'd just throw me into a bunch of levels he'd already played that he'd either wanted me to play again, or just show me. We played this game somewhat often, and at some point, the more we played it, the more we actually decided to make progress in it. Months later, after playing it for so much, we got to a point where we wanted to 100% some of the levels, play the game in an actual order, and lots of things. This was enough to compel me to buy the game and play it myself, and then after that, playing it was enough to compel me to 100% the game. Some of the information regarding to when some of this happened, like when I first played Kirby's Epic Yarn, when I first got it, and stuff like that, has been lost in time and become an enigma. But after so many years, how much does this game hold up? Does time really make a game age so much that even after less than 10 years, a game like Kirby's Epic Yarn can be worse after such little time compared to games like Zelda Ocarina of Time and Mario 64? No. This game is a fantastic Kirby game, and fantastic 2D platformer for that matter. This game takes something cute, and then puts it on crack cocaine! If this was just any old platformer, okay, these knees, really cool mechanics here, like how this does that, and stuff like that. Okay, not bad, but here's the thing. When you put in the equation how good this game looks, you get something that your typical 8-bit style platformer can't touch. I mean, some of them. I mean, Shovel Knight was pretty good, and a bunch of other ones I've never played or loved, but, you know, you get the idea, okay? Making games based off of yarn was like how they made a Mario RPG paper-based. Even though those were the worst in the series. No, this is different. They put it in the good hands of Goodfeel, a company known for making Wario Land Shake It, Yoshi's Woolly World, and that new Yoshi game on the Switch we have no clue about by the time I'm writing the script. See, this is why I don't speculate on this channel. Hey, can you lower your voice? My Tamagotchi is sleeping. Get out of my house, you silly goose carry. Get out of here. Get out of here. After you turn on the Wii, read the wording, press A, listen to the blah, and then click Kirby's Epic Yarn. Upon loading up the game, you're greeted to a yarn Kirby that bounces into the title screen alongside the hellish sounds of demons coming from inside the game. This game sounds like a weird spin-off of Kirby games that nobody would ever want, something in a certain series that starts as an animal and ends with the crossing is currently known for, but in reality, this is actually a lot of people's first Kirby game. Returning to Birdie's yarn epidemic makes you realize that every inch of this game is expertly crafted with bouncy, fun, and relaxing levels and controls, with a nice yarn bow on top of that, and it makes the game what it is. Instead of doing like most other installments in the Korg franchise, you can't even breathe in the world of Patchland, so you have to rely on seemingly painful shape-shifting ability and then pulling a yarn whip out of your ass. When Pac-Man arrives in this new world, he meets a fellow named Prince Fluff, the Prince of the Mushroom Kingdom, and he needs your help. The Mushroom Kingdom got ripped to shreds by Yin and Yang, and you gotta help us! On the way, Kirby comes across familiar foes and new ones, and reunites the pieces of Hyrule alongside Zelda himself. That's it. The entirety of the game's deep lore can simply be explained in approximately. But the story isn't the highlight here. Like usual, the real focus here is the gameplay and presentation.
But guy, why are you playing games so childish? This is clearly not made for hardcore gamers like myself.
Oh man, you're hilarious. You're quite the knee slapper there. You see this warning? This right here? The person getting hit in the face is you. That's really you. Every little thing in this game is made out of some sort of yarn material, whether it be the background, the foreground, or the ground. Without heavily relying on the yarn gimmick, this game's strength is a huge amount of cute moments that you witness within the game, like watching a Waddle Dee fall down, doing a cute little dance at the end, and launching a new stage, and just right here, just watch this. Probably one of the most developed characters in gaming. I mean, it's truly just like... With all that combined, you get a very nice, peaceful aesthetic that makes Kirby that much better. Running, jumping, swinging, floating, and doing all the other switch movements in this game puts me at ease, especially whenever Roller Derby strolls through the level like a gangster. Oh, and have I mentioned... the soundtrack? A ton of the music is blessed with bouncy or smooth piano melodies, some extremely calming alongside some jazzy tracks that are different, but fit well with the game's style. Take a listen to some of my favorites, it just make you go, hey, you know what I mean?
Coming straight from the underground.
With a soundtrack like that, you'll hum the tune to yourself for years to come. Some of my favorites are Weird Woods, Dust Dunes, Butter Building, Green Greens, Lava Landing, The Police, and pretty much the entire soundtrack. I wish I could play piano as good as it sounded like in the game, but alas, not today. There are so many minor touches in every aspect of this game that makes you feel so much like a kid. There's a music level where you bounce on cymbals and run down floor pianos, a prehistoric land with kitty-like dinosaurs, a futuristic area where you ride on the monorail and become a UFO, a place where you join a mafia society, and a candy level. It's like this game's level themes are all just made out of a kid's imagination. And right when you think you're about to play through another boring, predictable, grass, desert, snow, water, jungle, or volcanic level, you get something that's still within the world theme, but you get a lava level in a seemingly desert world, a spooky level in the candy-appearing world. One last thing about Yoshi's Woolly World's fantastic appearance I'd like to mention real fast is that you get ASMR'd.
Welcome to Dreamland, a kingdom famous for peace and quiet. It's the perfect little land, if you like that sort of thing.
In every world, there are a total of 4 levels to play, with the boss at the end, and another 2 secret levels after that, which are completely optional. Each level can take about a total of 0.0000000000002 seconds to beat, but the optimal way to play this game is to try and collect enough beats in each stage to get a gold medal ranking, as well as collect all 3 treasure chests in each stage, which is going to take you at least 5 minutes to an hour. Every single time you get hit, you lose hundreds of beats. Touch a spike, oh, bye-bye gold rank. Fall off, well, better make sure you check off your bucket list because you're gonna want to die whenever you realize you have to restart the level. And it's not as easy as getting a single checkpoint and just dying real fast to get back to where you have your beads again. Not a single checkpoint is in any of the levels, and the only real punishment you get from taking damage is losing beads. That is to say, that doesn't mean the game is bad when you can't die, but in the case of 100%ing the game, you can easily get pissed off when you can't go backwards in a level and have to replay all of it to get the right ranking. But most of the time, I actually just forgot all about being angry and was fine playing the level 2 seconds later.
Oh, I hate this game. It's so bad.
A few moments later.
In Kirby's moveset, you can turn into a car, do the whip, dab, throw fidget spinners, eat Tide Pods, reference any other outdated trend, and jump into these morphing things that turn Kirby into a variety of things. Become a tank and fight in the World War, become part of the main cast of Surf's Up, and even become a train!
When I finished Spaceland and reunited all the pieces of this creepy yarn world, my initial reaction was, okay, I did it. Well, what's gonna happen next? Is it just the final boss of the ending? What's gonna happen? Alright. I waited. Everyone's going back to Dreamland. Okay, I mean, that makes sense. I mean, they're gonna go home anyway. It's a happy ending. It's fine. I can actually move in Dreamland, like the original areas and music and all. Oh my god, this place has everything. It has the bombs, it has the bear, it even has the train in it. Kirby's Epic Yarn is one of my #1 nostalgia games, and even if you weren't like little like me when this came out, this game came out 8 years ago. If you're someone who played it back then and hasn't played it since, I recommend you give it another try. It's very easy, which is why some people disliked it, but it's definitely worth it for what it has. It's definitely strong in a lot of its qualities. Basically about half my life was spent with this as existence. Is that kind of sad? Is that just a tad bit depressing? People were kids when the NES Mario came out, and here I am, a fetus who just started with the Wii. That's like a billion years later. You're right, I did play Sonic 06 when I was little. I mean, I had a Sonic phase, you know? I just played any Sonic game that existed. We've all been there, I know we all have. Whoa, man, chill out. I mean, if you didn't exist, we wouldn't have this game come to life sequence we're having right now. You know, that kind of cringy stuff? Cringy. And plus, you're Sonic 06, one of the most infamous games in history. I mean, at least toughen yourself up a little bit. I pretty much had no gaming taste when I was like 8 or whatever. I'm sure you knew that. Shh. Do not speak his name. Alright, Pinhead. Your time's up. I went there, yeah, I did just use that quote. It's called game design. You silly goose. Okay, so now that we're done with this skit, I guess I'm just gonna go grab some ice cream. I forgot to do that last episode. I'll see you guys next month. Probably. Hopefully I commit. Maybe I didn't even commit this time, because I'm just shooting this. I'm not editing it yet. See you guys in a month. Right there, my chair's stuck.
Hey guys, thanks for watching the video. I just woke up like 3 minutes ago. This is a really fun video to make compared to the Sonic one, because Sonic sucks. But Kirby, I'm running out of words to say. Don't forget to smash that like button. See ya guys.